Like I promised last week, I said that I was going to keep up with the Bundesliga this weekend. And I wasn't disappointed because I followed one storyline in particular, and that was Erling Haaland and Borussia Dortmund. I wanted to check that out because, of course, Erling Haaland was expected to make his debut for Borussia Dortmund, his new team. If you guys don't know who Erling Haaland is, he is a 19-year-old Norwegian striker. He used to play for RB Salzburg. There are two RBs, Red Bull Leipzig, Red Bull Salzburg. Well, there's a bunch of them. But he played for the one in Austria, in Salzburg. He scored a hat trick on his Champions League debut, this kid did. The audacity on this 19-year-old. I wish I had those balls when I was 19. I'm talking like I was 19 years old like 15, 20 years ago. I was 19 like 2 years ago. But anyway, he attracted a lot of European elites, not just because of the hat trick, although it did have to do a lot with that, but he attracted a lot of them. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United. And Manchester United was, according to multiple reports, Manchester United was actually very close to signing him. But if you guys paid attention to anything I said last week, no one wants to play for Manchester United. So guess what? He ended up playing for Borussia Dortmund. I think there some directors or representatives for Manchester United were booking their flights, or they were getting their airplane ready to fly to Austria, and Haaland's like, yeah, no, it's not needed. I'm going to go to Borussia Dortmund. And they're like, oh, well then. All right. But anyway, he made his debut, and Borussia Dortmund had a very important game. This game that they played on Saturday was very important for multiple reasons. First and foremost, not only was it Erling Haaland's debut as a Borussia Dortmund player, Borussia Dortmund's fighting for the Bundesliga title. So they had to start off their 2020 with a win. There's no ifs, no buts. They had to start off their calendar year, with a win. 55 minutes into the game, they were down 3-0. I mean, it couldn't have gone any worse. It was bad. Borussia Dortmund wasn't playing well, and they were down 3-1. To be honest, obviously I don't really follow Augsburg. That's the team that they played against. I don't follow Augsburg much, but for whatever reason, they just strike me as a team that plays pretty well. So not too surprising that they were up 3-1 over Borussia Dortmund. But then, who comes on? Who's subbed on? Erling Haaland. He didn't start the game, to the surprise of many, and maybe some weren't very surprised, but he didn't start the game. He came on, and he scored 3 minutes after being subbed on. He scored 3 minutes after. And then he scored a hat trick within 20 minutes. I mean, you can't make this up. Really, you can't. This guy scored 3 goals in 20 minutes. The first and third goal were actually pretty good goals, great finishes. The second one, a tap-in, but whatever. We'll get into that a little bit later. What a performance. Jesus, what a performance. Borussia Dortmund ended up winning 5-3. Away. I forgot to mention that they were away. So, and the weather wasn't nice. Of course, Germany in January isn't nice. It's similar to here in the States. You have a lot of crappy weather, but Borussia Dortmund, away from home, 5-3 win. They keep their hopes alive, even to play Champions League next season. Erling Haaland had an excellent performance, and I don't just really say that. I don't just say that because of the hat trick. Of course, you can look at the stat sheet and say, well, he scored 3 goals in 20 minutes. Wow, what a performance! Sure, yeah, you can say that, but that's kind of lazy. That's very lazy, actually. Just looking at the numbers, looking at the stats. Stats don't lie. Yeah, sure, they kind of do sometimes. He had a great performance, not only because of the goals, but because of that boost that he gave his team. It's kind of crazy to think that a 19-year-old can give his team such a massive boost of confidence, and he really did, because the entire team seemed to play a little bit more relaxed as soon as Haaland came on. He eased a little bit of that pain that Borussia Dortmund was suffering throughout the first 55 minutes of the game. And it looked like the team was like, okay, we have someone that can finish off whatever we create. So that is a big advantage for us. You just have to feel much more confident once you have such a natural goal scorer who's just there, ready to finish whatever opportunity you give him. You have to feel that much more confident. And Borussia Dortmund, the entire team showed it. And props to Lucien Favre, the coach of Borussia Dortmund, for taking out Lucas Piszczek, the right back, and bringing on Erling Haaland. So, sometimes those substitutions, of course, you only make those substitutions. You take out a defender to bring in an attacker when you are down on the score. But it worked out just fine, and props to him. He recognized it, and it worked out. It worked out fine. But yeah, it looked like the entire team just rallied behind Erling Haaland. What really, really caught my attention the most was the second goal that he scored, which was, if I'm not mistaken, Borussia Dortmund's fourth goal of the game. That goal really caught my attention for one reason. Thorgan Hazard pretty much did everything. He took on the goalkeeper, and he really, if he wanted to, he could have just taken on the other defender and just slot it into the back of the net. But he didn't. He saw Erling Haaland made the run. He didn't take on the defender. He passed the ball to Haaland, and then Haaland was the one that tapped the ball in. And it shows that they really want this kid to succeed. So that if you're in a place where they want you to succeed, of course you're going to want to succeed even more. So I think Erling Haaland is in a great spot. That, again, the team just rallied behind him. Thorgan Hazard, incredible gesture by him. It shows that not only is he the better Hazard brother, he is a team player. So I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash. The better Hazard brother. What? I said what I said. All right? Whatever. Jesus. All right. But anyway, it is just so rare to see a 19-year-old cause so much impact on his team. And Erling Haaland is exactly what he did. And he's probably going to be doing that for a long time, or as long as a bigger club doesn't come in and snatch him for like 60 million euros. I think that's the new clause that Borussia Dortmund put, because they know that Real Madrid was watching that game. Barcelona was watching that game. Manchester City was watching that game. PSG was watching that game. And they're like, ooh, this kid is good. They just confirmed that theory that he is a very, very good goal scorer. I mean, who scores a hat-trick on their Champions League debut? Seriously. And a hat-trick on their Bundesliga debut. Great finisher. Deadly. He's very unselfish too. Very unselfish. I've seen him make a couple good passes, and even I think it was Borussia Dortmund's third goal. Jadon Sancho had the opportunity to pass it to Erling Haaland, and he just slotted it home. He did the opposite of Thorgan Hazard, and he didn't mind. He went and celebrated with Jadon Sancho, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, it seems like it's a great fit for Borussia Dortmund, Erling Haaland. And not only did Erling Haaland make his Borussia Dortmund debut or his Bundesliga debut, so did Giovanni Reina. And you guys might be asking yourself, well, who's Giovanni Reina? Giovanni Reina is the son of former U.S. national team captain Claudio Reina. And Gio, as they call him, he's an attacking midfielder. And he plays for the national team, for the young national team, the U17 or U15, whatever, but it's for the youth national team. And he's probably going to play with the seniors pretty soon, because he's kind of taking the road that Christian Pulisic took. So, I mean, Gio Reyna, he's putting U.S. national team on the map again. He's putting himself out there, I should say, representing the U.S. pretty well. So good for him. He made his debut. Of course, I mean, he only played like 20 minutes, I think, but regardless, he still played, and he's probably going to play an important part if any of these other players decide to get up and leave, because that's what they love to do at Borussia Dortmund. They get some success, and then they leave. They dash. So it was a good day for the youngsters at Borussia Dortmund, and Erling Haaland, man, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy in I don't know, 5-10 years is like a top goal scorer, or like he just becomes a record breaker, because by the looks of it, honestly, Erling Haaland has a very bright future. And not only does he have a bright future, he could probably become the Luis Suarez and the Robert Lewandowski and the Edinson Cavani of right now. He can be that in like 5 or 6 years. So pay attention to the Norwegian striker because this guy, oh man, he's a lot of fun to watch.